conversation back and forth. I will actually have a seat. You won't have to look at my face. So, but we'll go ahead and get started with our staff introducing themselves. And we'll start with Mr. Luis Alfredo Garcia.
All right. Well, like Susan said, I'm Luis Alfredo Garcia. I'm a news reporter here at South Carolina Public Radio. I'm from Miami, went to school in Florida, had a year of experience at a public media station in Orlando. Been in South Carolina for almost a year now, been here at the station for almost a year now. And I'm so excited to listen. I'm so excited to learn. I've only been to Aiken, I want to say 3 or 4 times. Love to get back out here and cover what matters to you guys. I'd love to hear what matters to you all. And I think those are, yeah, no, that's me. That's me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Reagan Knight. I am the host of All Things Considered, our afternoon news segment on South Carolina Public Radio. Like Lewis, I'm also from Florida and got my start in radio when I was 16 at a classic rock and country station. I went to the University of Florida, found my passion for public media, and left public media briefly to go become the creative services director for a cluster of commercial stations, and then came to South Carolina 2 years ago to become the host here at Public Radio and ETV. And I will say this, I just know what it's like growing up in a town where news coverage, if you get news coverage, it's usually something negative. Where I lived in Florida, the news stations only came out to our town if something bad happened. That's not how I do news. I believe there's good news and there's also bad news. But the good news in small communities never gets heard. So I prefer being out in small rural communities. And this past year, I've been in charge of some special projects, including SC250. And I have tasked our reporters and myself to go into areas, like Lewis and Scott here, go into areas you're unfamiliar with and tell me a story about the Revolutionary War that people may not know about. And that is more of a positive story about the local community. So I appreciate being here.
I'm Scott Morgan. I'm the managing editor of the newsroom. Not from Florida. But my sister was there, so close enough. I've been a reporter and editor and writer and whatever. Actually, exactly 5 years. And I've been in public radio exactly 10 years this week. You all are the white whale with Aiken, because we don't get down here enough to do anything with Aiken, and we never have. And we don't, I mean, I have the luxury of being outside of Columbia and Rock Hill, so I get to talk about Rock Hill, the upstate, things like that. I don't get down here nearly enough. So we need you to tell us what is going on down here, because we really want to know. This is my new friend Tansy, and I were just talking about homeless services and whatnot. I have spent a lot of time over the past 5 years, especially being more of I say housing reporter, I guess so, but also kind of an insecurity reporter, transportation, food insecurity, things like that. I often do things out with Rose here to which stories we do up but we need you to stay in touch, please, because and tell your friends, like, I gave Tansy a bunch of cards. I just got they got like 5. So, but please, like everybody's saying, don't be shy. Just tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us what you need, and you can always call me and tell me anything.
Okay.
Are there like Pokemon cards?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Miller. I'm the chief meteorologist at SCEtv at South Carolina Public Radio. Every day but today, because I don't want to be blamed for that. Also, the director of the South Carolina Emergency Information Network. This is 2 brand new basic entities that the station has developed. I'm excited to head that up. So weather is an important part of everything that we do. Some of you may know me from my almost a decade at WIS and also 4 years at WGB at Channel 6 in Augusta.
I recognize your face. Yes, WJBF.
I'm sorry. Weather affects everything, and weather's going to be a big role, I think, in public radio and public broadcasting as it moves forward, not only here, but around the nation. And I think we're taking the lead here in this. So anything weather you want to talk about, I got you covered.
Okay.
Already?
Just
I heard you say something about the emergency services.
Yes.
Is that something that SCEtv is going to have where we get an app where we sign up for it? So I get code red right now and all those things, but.
You get code red. What is, from what? What is code red? From
I get emergency- They send me texts, emails, phone calls.
the Mar app? You mean-
No.
It's a
iPhone?
South Carolina code red or something. I get those too. You have to sign up for 'em.
Yeah, that's not from us.
Okay, but I just want, you're gonna have something similar to that?
Well, we don't have a weather app now. Of course, we have a regular app. That's something that we'll probably look forward to in the future. Our goal is, we work very closely with South Carolina Emergency Management. So whenever, and we're also the state's, voice for when there's a weather emergency or any other type of emergency that requires the public to be notified of such. So we're the voice of that. And we plan on basically, when it comes to weather, really extending this to be a really solid voice, a voice that is just really, you don't hear anymore. Commercial television stations and radio stations are losing, left and right, their employees, they're making cutbacks. Therefore, they're cutting back on weather information. And we're finding that weather information is extremely important. And to be able to get that information out to the public in a very calm demeanor. So that's our approach with that.
And I do want to mention that we do have a couple of other team members here in the room, so I'm going to ask them to quickly tell us their names and what they do for ETV and public radio, and then we'll go back to the conversation. Jada.
So my name is Jada
Oh.
Washington. I am producer here. Coming up on 6 months next week. So still fairly new. But yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say tonight. I'm born and raised in Columbia. I've passed through Aiken, but I've never really, sat down and just chilled. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah,
And Jada has business smarts too.
I do have
Okay.
business cards too. I do. But yeah.
Okay.
Whitney's
Hello.
Public relations manager at
Mhm.
SCEtv. So a lot of the written content and the press releases, the information that goes to our external audiences, I help to craft.
Okay,
Thank you all for being here. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
thank you.
And I'm Landon Bassford. I'm the Chief Public Information Officer for SCEtv. So helping to put on events like this, support our content areas of the agency and promote our initiatives, tell people what we got going on and why they should support us. So it's important for us to hear from the folks that are consuming our content and how we need to get them that content or promote it as well in a way that makes sense for what you want to hear or listen to or see on air. So very thankful for y'all for being here. Your input is very important to the work that we do every day.
Thank you.
Hello, Gordon. I'm Joe Williams. I'm a social media content creator with ETV. I've been around for roughly a year. I'm originally from New York, but I've been in Columbia most of my life. Basically, I'm here just capturing, video photos, just really get this micro event.
Okay.
So you guys can look back and think about how we reached out and really trying to, I guess, really get perspective and, get everyone voices from, the metro to the low country.
Okay.
All right, and now the floor is yours. Now I'll sit down.
Well, I guess Louise did tell me a little bit about how you all can come out to the local events, because I actually this will be our 3rd year in November, but I host an author expo here in Aiken. It's on Africa. It's called Our Words Matter, and this will be our 3rd year. So that's what I mainly do. To even though I'm an author myself, but I like to promote my authors, as I call all of them, coming from out of state. Washington. I told them last year we had someone from Texas. They come here to sell their books, to find new readers for themselves. So I constantly look for new ways to promote the event so that it can be a success for everybody, for the community, for the local community, as well as the out of town, the students, just everybody all around. So I'll definitely be reaching out about you guys doing some coverage there. Thank you.
Is there any type of book that like people are really like into?
Um, Just a bit of everything. We have authors who write about history. We have authors who write a lot of poetry. Some that write children's books, romance. We have a little bit of memoirs, just a little bit of everything. So it's something there for everybody to come out and see. Yeah. And meet the new indie authors that are in the area. Well, some new and some seasoned, but yes. And also, we have other businesses like Center for Heirs Property. They're usually a vendor there. Other small businesses that come in. Actually, this year we even have one coming from Atlanta. So they're coming, far and wide to Aiken to, find a new audience, a new customer. So I just want the whole thing to be a success for everybody.
Yeah, how do you,
Yes.
from these small businesses, like what are some like Aiken specific struggles they might have?
Well, Aiken, they don't really specifically say just a lot of people talk on Facebook about their businesses, so they will say, oh, nobody wants to support each other, or nobody wants to do this, or nobody wants to help promote each other. So that's why it's important for us to have, I guess, unbiased promotion, so nobody say, oh, they're promoting you more than me, and things like that. So that would be that's some of the things that they complain about. Yeah, and nobody really wanted to work together.
I used to do a lot of work with indie authors when I was up in Texas.
Okay, so you're familiar, yes,
I,
okay.
I'm familiar with the.
With that territory, that area. Yes, so
It's an interesting one, but
definitely.
I like, I mean, there's something to be said about, well, I don't want to sound like I'm on my journalistic high.
Go ahead, Ben,
There's
yes.
something to be said about.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes, it is, it is.
and so, I used to explain to people all the time, it was they were always very timid when they wrote. And I was
Yes.
always like, no,
Mhm.
go for the jugular.
Yes,
And question, you can always bring it back. It's part of the flow.
that's true.
Once they got it, people started to open up,
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. So I don't envy your task.
Yes, it's a task that I somehow I took on, but yes. Thank you, I appreciate that. Mhm. Thanks.
I have a question for all of you. So if I were to be a news reporter, I would be covering education
Mhm.
and also transportation. But how is the education system, the public school system here in Aiken County? Can you talk a little about the school district itself?
Um, it's I guess it's a little bit of what you make of it.
Okay.
Like my children, of course, went to the public schools here in Aiken County, but then I have a sister-in-law that she teaches at private school, the charter schools. So she steers away from the public schools because of some of the behaviors and things that she's told me through the years that she experienced. So I guess it's all around as a community. Now I know they are making different changes with trying to just diversify the schools where you might live way across town, but you're going to the school over here on the bus, of course. Yes, they have done a lot of the rezoning. So right now my grandkids are in early elementary, so I'm still, getting used to the new how the school system is now. So, but I think they're making some strides. So they're making a few. Yes. Hmm.
So I have a question.
Hmm.
How do you consume news and weather mostly? First thing in the morning, you wake up. What's the first thing that you do? You don't have to go, you don't have to be exact.
Be honest, Facebook.
All right, so you go to Facebook.
Yes.
My weather app and Ryan Mulligan.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Ryan Hall, y'all.
Okay.
Y'all, you and I need to talk. He's a good guy. All right, so first thing is this.
Okay.
Thing, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, So you're checking your weather, you're checking your news.
Mhm.
What are some of the apps that you guys go to? What are some of the sources that you use for news and consuming information?
Well, I do have the local news, the WRDW, and the local news stations around here. They all have an app, and they're all on Facebook. So I do go to their apps as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure, NPR.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Okay.
What about using social media in, let's take weather, for example. So let's say there's a big storm coming up, or, you hear about a big storm. Would you be more apt to go to social media and like Facebook, find, me or somebody else babbling about, the weather and what's coming. Does that interest you all?
Yes.
Okay.
I've sat and watched when you all go live, when there's something going on. I'll sit there and watch the whole thing, and I may or may not chime in the comments, but yeah, I do that.
What I choose well is, you ever go to Facebook other than
Not
mine?
Facebook, no,
Mm.
more like YouTube.
Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
something that's streaming live. You
Yeah.
can follow along.
Mhm.
How important is getting weather information and weather updates and alerts? Is that something that you find important, very important?
Very important. Mhm. Yeah.
When we're expecting bad weather, like we we're
Yes.
expecting Helen as bad as she was.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
that left a lot of us flat-footed, for sure.
Mhm.
I'm gonna piggyback off of Tim. How do y'all consume breaking news? Do you get it directly from social media? Do you have push notifications from certain apps like say NBC, Fox, CNN? How do y'all consume breaking news?
A lot of it I have the apps. Like you said, I get someone to start sending out an email when like there's a missing alert and things like that. Those are coming to my emails now. So I guess I'm connected to it. I think that I don't know if that came from the code red or from the news, but so I get it just about on each different channel. Yeah.
Mostly I'm with SCEtv and public radio is where I get most of my information.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Can I jump in to just ask, because you mentioned NPR and SCEtv, what is it that keeps you coming back? What do you like?
I respect that more than most other stations.
Mhm.
They seem to sometimes be balanced. Of course, some of the comments will tell you that maybe they're not so balanced.
Mhm.
But I don't feel prejudice when I'm reading or listening to whatever they're saying. It sounds, they're presenting it. There's no emotions, there's no hysteria or whatever else is going on in the world. It's just, this is it, this is the facts. And then I can make my own opinion, take it from there.
Mhm.
I chime in on just that for, and also piggyback on what everybody else is doing. I promise you that, yeah, we get called biased in every possible direction. I have been called a left wing nut and a right wing nut, and I can't figure out in the same story how I'm the same guy. It depends on what you hear.
I'm a leading heart liberal, so I just.
I mean, I've gotten it from both ways. I'm curious though, in the same vein as what you're consuming, get past breaking weather, breaking news. Do you like stories? Like long form stories? Do you like them? Do you listen to them? And like, what do you listen to? Do you like the kind of stuff you hear as you're listening? Oh, that's a good story. Or does anybody consume podcasts or programming, anything like that? What kind of stuff do you listen to? You think, I want to know about people?
Sort of Luddite in that area. People are probably more with it than I am.
I read more books than I listen to podcasts too.
Mm.
But seriously, I mean, like, I'm just curious because like radio, one of the beauties of radio is being able to take a long time to tell a story because it wants, and not just sort of, I don't like podcasts because it tends to be like me and Reagan just sitting around 2 hours, not specifically breaking, but yeah.
Which podcast, podcasts I listen to?
Yeah, it's just cute. But I mean, I'm just curious as far as like, one of the things that makes the job really great to do is getting to be able to talk to people and just kind of sit down
Mhm.
like this and it's let the story just kind of unfold. But I don't know whether y'all actually like it. So, I mean, it's easy for me to say, because I like doing it, but I don't know if you like to hear it, so.
I like hearing about real life stories, things that are going on. So I guess basically that's the same thing. So, yeah.
But like stories about neighbors, right?
Yeah, about not just the gossip, but yeah, just being that I'm a writer, so I write about my life story. So I like hearing about different things that like I say, you may have a different experience with going through something in your life. I'm interested in stuff like that. So if, like they have a story on you and you're talking about it, whether it's in print or on podcast, I would like listening to something like that in long form. Mhm.
By the way, I'm not consciously trying to look like I'm walking. It's cold in here.
I'm cold too, actually. Yeah, it's freezing now. I'm glad you said something. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Mhm.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure how it relates to anything, but there's stories, and I've seen them online,
Mhm.
where they'll put a picture and they'll have a title, and I'll read the story, but I can't figure out what that picture has to do with that story. I don't know. Doesn't get the relationship.
That might be good.
Well, give us an example. I can't write. I'll tell you. But,
Well,
well,
I also have a business card, you can contact me.
I mean, it's just not, NPR, there's other things I'll see
Yeah.
on there, like, whatever else I could.
No, I know exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm seeing this picture, but whatever y'all are talking about, the picture is totally unrelated.
Tim?
Why would they?
Well, not necessarily, I mean, well, what happens is, unfortunately, we have, in the commercial realm, we have a lot of really new and rather inexperienced people that have now joined the ranks. The deal of having those experienced journalists are pretty much waning, it's pretty much over. So what happens is, in order to get that information out as quickly as possible, a lot of times if the ball is dropped to where the picture or something doesn't really relate to the story, or the story doesn't relate to the picture, that happens a lot. I will say that has not happened with us. I've not seen that, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but that's more unlikely to happen with us than it would be commercial product. But you are right, I've seen that numerous times.
One of the things that separates us from commercial and why I prefer being in public media versus commercial is the commercial, not the same newspaper outlets, but more so television, is we need to be first to get the information out. So if they're putting together something that has an image, they're gonna pull stock photo or something. And now with stock pictures, like take Adobe Stock, for example, AI is now involved in stock pictures. So they'll type in something generic and they might see something generic and the picture may be slightly off because it's AI. Whereas in public media, we're not going to be the first to the story. We're going to present you the information once we have identified 100% with accuracy. This is the information that we 100% know and have verified. So that's one of the reasons why I also prefer public media in that essence. I take a lot of pride in my own photography. I think every element of a story should work together, whether it's the photography, a social media video, the actual audio of the newscast, and then the digital story. So when, looking through articles, maybe on things you aren't as familiar with or something in your community, what photos really draw you guys in? Like, is it people in action? Is it just a scene of what's happening? Like, if you guys were to scroll by a story, what sort of thing would draw you guys in?
Yeah, probably what's going on in the scene, yeah.
Does it necessarily have to be like the people involved? Is just
Some sort of people and maybe something in the picture that's showing that something that's actually happening versus them just standing there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
emotion?
Mm-hmm.
There's an exception to that one. I don't know if you all saw the Augusta Press. It was maybe a couple months ago. There was a prison worker working on the road and he was killed. They showed a picture of this man's body on the ground. I mean, we just lit into them. Like, you do not do this.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Yeah.
Just to get readers in?
Right.
They're real journalists, though.
Yeah, but still, they put
I mean,
the picture of
they
the
are.
poor guy laying on the street, just,
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
that's not like a real newspaper, like.
well, still.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, ethics should not be
Right.
compromised in that regard, but unfortunately they are.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we're gonna have to really keep tabs on, especially with social media, because social media will get you either from upset to darn right nervous and off the chain. AI is gonna be a big factor. This is something we're gonna have to watch and police over the next several years. The amount of what AI can do is exponentially increasing as years go on, as months go on. And this is gonna have a major impact on how we consume information. Is it true? We're gonna have to develop some sort of prism to run these stories through to whether it's reality or not, because we can make a story or have somebody say something when they really didn't say it at all. So it's a very fascinating time in which we're moving into from a news, weather, and even weather standpoint.
We had somebody can't take the plug out.
And you all mentioned of wanting stories about Aiken or Aiken County. Are you looking for any kind of stories, like feel-good stories or what's
Yeah.
happening in the local politics?
Anything, challenges, like I mentioned before, challenges, concerns, successes.
if we,
For like an example, even if it's individual towns, like right now, I have been, me and Jada can actually probably speak a bit to this, actually. We've been following in a town in Lexington County called Chapin. Chapin and their mayor and the town, of Lexington County are actually suing like back and forth over, I can't remember what it was, Jada.
It's a housing development.
Housing development.
No.
So, but Chapin is a relatively small town compared to like Lexington or West Columbia or Columbia for that matter. So we are monitoring that situation. Even though Chapin is small, it's still worth our attention. So stuff like that in Aiken County for smaller towns in Aiken that are having issues with development or data centers. Data centers are one of the biggest things across South Carolina and across the country. We'll look at that too, and then come out, talk to the people that are being impacted by that. Now, with all of our reporters and our reporting, we like to show both sides of that story too. So that way, when you are reading something, you'll see, okay, it's impacting these people, but you know what this business is gonna say, it's great for the town. You know, so we're gonna show both sides so that you, the audience, can actually understand and see, okay, I get both viewpoints now, I can make my own opinion from the facts that are presented to me.
I think I can also weigh in on the idea that if you, I guess the arbiter for me has always been, if something makes you go, that's a story, that's good.
Yeah.
False, you know, I mean, you were just talking about the one paper, if it's a rag, right? I mean, what makes it a rag? Like,
Yeah.
and what do you not want to see? And you say, well, I wish they would cover this, I wish they would cover that. Yeah, that's, yes, it's, I mean, we're, as much as I hate to sound like I'm cheesily marketing NPR, like the name of their afternoon newscast is All Things Considered, right? And it's like, because, yes, with Reagan, yeah. But no, I mean, it's, you know, to their own marketing point, it's called that for a reason. I mean, you know, it's like, think about it. I just actually heard something on desert turtles as pets, you know, coming down. And I thought, what's a tortoise for a pet? But they kind of sold it. I kind of want a tortoise now, you know, it's something to pet. But yeah, I mean, like all kinds of things, you know, I mean, we don't delve into nearly enough, I think, sometimes. You know, you get sort of caught up in a news cycle, you know, and sometimes especially, you mentioned Helene. I mean, I was out in the upstate covering Helene a couple of years ago now, and it was just a lot of that for a long time, you know, and you know, fine, but I mean, there are stories out there about science, there are stories out there about religion, there's stories out there about community groups, you know, there's stories out there about homeless populations trying to do something, you know, and the various, one of my favorite words, kerfuffles that happen to try to get, you know, somebody wants to do something and somebody else wants to stop something else. So, I mean, basically anything where you look at it and say, you know, I really wish somebody would know about this, or somebody should know about this guy, or somebody should tell this story, or whatever. That's us. Take one of my 500 business cards.
So when it comes to like knowing what's going around the area, obviously, I'm sure y'all check the news, but like besides news sources, where do you go to see what's happening in Aiken? Like, where should we check to see what's happening around? Is it like the library website? Is it like today at 8?
Facebook, Facebook,
Yeah,
really.
Facebook.
Yeah, those two.
Favorite apps like Green or like.
What is it? I forgot what's the name. I still get the emails.
Oh, next door. Okay.
Yeah, that one.
And there's like 3 different Aiken information Facebook.
Yeah, they're all Facebook, yes.
There's like WhatsApp and Ask Aiken, and then Aiken Info, and then there's Aiken Information, and then there's like Aiken Info No Rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Aiken Standard still, isn't that still?
The building is there, yes, sir, right, Aiken Standard.
Oh, yeah, we look at the standards here.
Right, we're all looking at it, yeah. We can't answer that question.
That's as far as I can go with it.
Right.
I reach out part of it actually.
Well, to a similar point, I mean, where do y'all hang out? Like, I mean, are there, you know, I learned a long time ago that like most of life is like dating, which is not always great. You know, it's you know, networking or something like that. I mean, like, are there places y'all hang out and you know, like over the, you know, like sometimes at sometimes.
To his point, does Aiken do any like yearly events, like a Aiken County fall fair or something like that.
Yeah, the Aiken's making, yeah, different things Aiken's making, like I said, the expo, this is a returning event, the food festival they do downtown on Newberry. So they do have different festivals, there's so many to name, it's Hops and Hops, there's so many different ones. October, yes, yes.
Listed up there too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even down in the alley, there's plenty of restaurants down the alley.
Right, and a lot of the stuff happens down in the alley, and I think they have what, the alley now, the first Friday they do downtown now, I've been to that a couple times, so. Yeah, the farmer's market, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So like to that, in these, what month is it? August?
mm-hmm.
Since the beginning of the year, what do you guys feel like we've missed in Aiken? Like, what have you guys like been like, oh, ETV didn't cover that, or just something that we might have missed, you know?
I don't know if you covered this, but it
Mm-hmm.
was a very painful, sad time for us, for
With
little
little girl, yes, yes,
Nevaeh
yes,
Harris.
yes,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
This Sunday, we're having a memorial service for her at Millbrook
Mm.
at 1:30.
I saw that on Facebook about the memorial.
Just yelled, I mean, he was on Facebook saying, you call yourselves a community, blah, 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 this little girl that. Well, the thing is that we never met
Right,
that family, but we knew the child was missing these hundreds of
Right.
people came out to search for her. We
mm-hmm,
didn't care whether or not, how long she'd been in the county. Then they
mm-hmm,
found her remains in another county, which means she never made it to Aiken.
right,
But still, we
Mhm.
cared enough about this child
mm-hmm,
and helped find her, and now people are getting together to kind of put her, what remains of him, put her to rest
Mhm.
Sunday.
yes,
So, no, it's not a feel-good story, really.
right, it's a community story, though.
But, yeah,
And that-
It affected all of
the
us,
community's gonna come together one more time to help this little child.
right,
And to say, you see something, you say something.
right,
Councilwoman-
Those stories sometimes build a community more so than the feel-good stories. So,
mm-hmm.
goodness.
I think it did, actually, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Scott said to hit the jugular. I'm just gonna do it. What do you guys hate about Aiken? What do you hate about this area?
I guess all the building up they're doing in Aiken, the traffic, the construction, all the things that they're doing, the changes, you know.
Mattress store.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Here.
Yes.
Define
Mm.
change.
They're really upset about a parking deck downtown.
Nah,
There was some
okay with
drama
that,
about
yeah.
getting it. Like, it's a long
Mhm.
story. You'll have to Google it.
Yeah. And even with the mall, to piggyback on that, because, many years ago, I used to work in the mall.